snow. That is a record. Millions have no electricity. At least 5 deaths have been reported in Houston. 3 others were killed in North Carolina in the aftermath of an overnight tornado. Let's go straight to Dallas, to CNN's Ed Lavandera. And Ed, I mean, I know this storm has disrupted so many things. Tell me what you're hearing from folks and how bad is it?
Well, Brooke, as snow and ice blankets this state, a deep level of frustration also blankets this state as the political finger pointing continues today, as right now 3.6 million Texans still remain without power. This is one of the thousands of substations that generate and move power to neighborhoods across the state. This particular one provides power to about 17,000 people. We're told by the local utility here that this is missing power to about 1,500 people. So this is the kind of frustration that people are dealing with well into this winter storm. And the finger pointing is going on. The governor of Texas, who has come under a great deal of fire because the way he's handled this as well, is saying that he's calling for an investigation of the state agency that runs the Texas power grid. Just so people know, Texas runs on its own power grid, separate from the rest of the United States. And we spoke with the CEO of that power grid agency just a short while ago, and he told us that because of what ERCOT, which is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, that's the agency that runs everything, he says that what they did made things better, prevented this from being an even worse disaster than what we've already seen.
I think from the perspective of the grid collapsing, I think what has happened here is a response that kept the grid from collapsing, that kept us from going into a blackout condition. Now, the difficulties that this has imposed on citizens of Texas, everybody in the state, have been enormous. And certainly, we need to look at what has happened here once we get everybody back online, which is the #1 priority.
So the CEO there pushing back on the heavy criticism that his agency has come under, and also says, the real question at the bottom line here is, when is the power going to be restored for millions of people who are living literally in freezing temperatures? Their temperatures in people's homes down into the 30s, incredibly dangerous situation. And the CEO says that the power, he hopes, will be restored in the next day or two. But the question is just how much electricity can be generated at these power plants in various parts of the state, many of which have been damaged. And there's been a lot of back and forth, Brooke, as to whether or not it was solar power that was damaged the most or oil and gas that was damaged the most. The CEO says it's been spread out among all those different sources of energy, but a great many questions as to how this catastrophic collapse could have happened.